Hello everyone, welcome back to Student Blog. In this series of VMware vSphere 8 Fast Track Session 2, the previous session we are looking at how to install ESXi Server, then how to add an ESXi Server to vCenter, like building vCenter and adding the ESXi Server. We looked at it, and also I believe we created a data center and also created a cluster and added ESXi box. That's what we done. So this series, this session, we'll be looking more like covering multiple topics in single video. So requirements for this lab: domain controller, which we already built it. We already have a domain vsb.com, and create a host record for ESXi and vCenter. That is also done. So yeah, I'm just following the previous PowerPoint presentation. So we have ESXi box 01 with IP 192.168.86.7 and a new ESXi server, which I already built it for this lab. So we'll be adding this to the existing cluster, and IP is 192.168.0.86.8 and our vCenter is vc01.vsb.com, and IP is 192.168.0.86.6, and we'll be we already have these, so we don't require any more for ESX and vCenter ISOs. So these are the topics we are going to cover in this, like create a new data center, create new cluster, which already covered in our previous video, but I will create a dummy new data center and cluster, adding ESXi server to cluster, which is also done in our previous video, but I will be adding a second ESXi box. So how to add a data store or how to add a LUN. For example, in your production environment where you work, generally storage is managed by storage admins, and in few environments system admin will also handle that. So if you're already a storage admin, so you know how to create a volume, how to create a LUN on that, and how to do a zoning to add the ESXi IPs to that, all stuff. So that part you can refer in my old videos which I done, like using the net app, how to create volume, all stuff. You can refer that. And in this video we'll be using a Windows box, which is our domain controller. So this is a lab, so I'm using my one box, only one Windows box, that is Windows domain controller. I'm also using it as a storage provisioner, iSCSI initiator and iSCSI server. So I just already configured, I added a 200 GB iSCSI volumes on that, and I already added the ESXi IPs to that. So whenever I scan for data stores or LUNs, they will be visible. So that part I will be showing today in this video. Once it is done, we'll be looking at configuring HA and DRS, and also discuss what is HA DRS, and creating vMotion network, we'll look at it. Then creating Datastore cluster also we'll look at it. Then how to join a vCenter to domain. Actually this should be done once the second ESXi is added, or even initial stage itself we can do it. So now also we can do, but it should come under step 4 or step 3, but that's okay, we can do anytime. Then once you add it to the vCenter, we need to provide the permissions to the domain users or domain admins or whatever who need access to the vCenter. That we will look at it, and once we configure it, we will try to log in with our domain credentials, Active Directory domain credentials, instead of administrator@vsphere.com, vsphere.local. So initially when you build a vCenter, you can only log in with one administrator credential, that is administrator@vsphere.local is the domain. So that is local domain. So now so after this we'll try to show how to access a VCSA appliance using browser, and even using the PuTTY we can log in. So PuTTY session, how to do that, if you refer my old videos, it's already there, but just browser I will show. So this is the topics we are going to cover, so we'll refer one by one and we'll do that. So let's go to our vCenter. So most of the time we'll be working here. So yesterday we created a data center 1 and a cluster 1. So just for our who missed it, I will just create a new one here. Okay, you need to go to vCenter, right click, new Datastore. So I have NC1. Now I will create NC2, but this is only dummy, just for how to create. I'm showing it. And once this is created, if you want to create a cluster, just go right click on the data center and click on new cluster, and then when you click it, you need to name it. So I will give it NC. Okay, I given this as NC, right? So let me rename it. Let's make it DC2 data center. So yeah, so initial configuration part, when it is initially configuring without any adding anything, then we can rename and we don't have any issues. So click on new cluster. So new to give the new cluster NC2. I'm giving it as NC2. So here we have options to enable DRS HA. We'll discuss all in the next upcoming steps. So image setup, all will do it, like just ignore it for now, and you can see there's a review for what exactly we done. Finish. So this is done. It will take just few seconds to pop up the new cluster name here. So it's in progress. Just wait for it, or else you can see here the status, what's going on. It is created now. Okay, so that's okay. So this is created. We don't have any ESXi boxes added. So if you have multiple locations, for example, this is somewhat Washington DC location, or this is somewhat Texas location. So two different locations. For example, you can create this as for example California, and this you can name it as Texas data center, and you can add the like ESXi boxes located in Texas data center, and you can create two different clusters. Okay, so just to segregate the locations, we are doing this. So this is only for a demo. I created it. If you want to add a host, you need to give the IP or FQDN of that particular host, and give the root and password. Just click on add, and it will ask for a certificate validation. Once you accept it, next finish, and it will be added. So this is about like this is step 1. Step 2, add ESXi server to cluster. That will look now. So actually this is also done. So next is to add iSCSI LUN to ESXi box. That will look. So here, so let me show you. Here on the ESXi box, when you see, this is the summary, which it shows the host details, like ESXi version, build number, then processor type, like logical processors, NIC, how many NICs we have, how many VMs running on it, uptime, all details, and this is the details about capacity and usage. So configuration, is that EVC is enabled, HA is state, what everything is like this is about summary. Monitoring, this is about any issues that will be listed here, alarms that will be listed here. Performance, you can see. So we can see the CPU performance, real time. You can select the days, weeks, and even custom interval also you can select. When it comes to troubleshooting, you can use this. It's same as for memory and memory rate and disk utilization, IOs, all stuff. So going to the advanced, you can see more here. So this will help to see more in detail. So talking about the tasks, whatever the task running, like if you like any snapshotting is in progress or any migration progress, vMotion is it will be listed here, and you will be able to see the percentage and status here events is also like events, any errors, anything happening, that will be listed here, who is connected, all stuff. Hardware health, like there will be sensors which will detect your hardware issues, hardware status, and it will be listed here. If it is an any server, a physical server, you can see that. Skyline health, it's actually it's a separate topic. So this is for this is separate, when you configure Skyline appliance. So what happens is it will show what are the patches missing or vulnerabilities, everything. So you can see it here also. So you can see here, but ours is a fresh brand new VM's ESXi box, so we don't have anything. So why we are wasting time here means, anyhow we are here, that is the reason I'm telling. If somebody is new, they will understand each and every component. Configuration part, most of the stuff will be working here, like storage related we'll be looking at here, configuring virtual switches, adding physical adapters, everything will be working here. So we'll take a special specific class for this. So startup VMs, all stuff, licensing, tons of things are there. If you start telling about all this, then it will go an hour. So we'll be off track, which we need to do. So here let's go with the plan, what we have. So adapters, storage adapters is the one which we'll be looking at. So these are the HBAs. If you have a physical storage NetApp or EMC or pure storage, they will be connected through storage filers will be connected to fiber switches. From fiber switches it will be connected to your ESXi boxes, and each ESXi box will have two HBAs, HBA cards, where two fiber channels will be connected, and why two means if one channel goes down, another will be active. That is the reason, it's for redundancy. So for this these HBAs will be used. If you are using a software iSCSI adapter, you need to go to click on add software adapter, and you need to click on add iSCSI adapter and just click OK. So it will start adding that adapter here. So it's already added, so and it's online. So when you click on this, select this one. So here how we are going to add means, you can see the iSCSI adapter, iSCSI name, alias, everything here. So authentication, you can use authentication like SHAP authentication, all stuff. So once you add the devices, it will be listed here. So how we are going to add the iSCSI LUN means, you need to add the we need to add the iSCSI server IP here. So and the port used is 3260. So ports, most of the time in some interviews people will ask about ports. Really we don't work on any ports, it's all backend. But when you are configuring when you are working in real-time environment, you must make sure that all ports which are connected to its connection between vCenter, ESXi, everything, whatever ports need to be enabled, that has to be listed, and that should be given to the network team. Then only they will enable the ports on the switches. Once they enable the ports, then only you will be able to work, communicate with the if it is an iSCSI server, if it is storage, or if it is a any other devices, they will be communicating each other. Like for example, vMotion works on port 8000. If that is disabled, then it won't work. So like that, you need to make sure what all ports used or should be open. That you can get it when you go to the VMware site. It's clearly mentioned what all ports should be enabled. So you need to make sure. And even when you're troubleshooting, you have to first check the ports enabled or not. Then only it will be easy for you to identify the issue. So here we need to add our iSCSI server IP. So our server IP is our domain controller. It's not there, but that's okay. I have it on my mind. 192.168.86.5 is the IP and port is 3260. Click OK. So it will scan or just rescan the adapter and storage. So yeah, we can see it here, right? So you can add the static IP also, that's okay. So now we done it. So storage, we have added the iSCSI IP and it's visible now. So next step is you need to go to storage devices, and you will be able to see the 200 GB LUN is available. So what we need to do is now go to vCenter and storage, new data store. So ours is VMFS. In few environments they will also use NFS, and in few they will be using vVols. So vVols is NFS is a file system where NFS shares over the network, and vVols is like you will be connecting directly volumes, storage volumes to your vCenter, that is ESXi. So there are a few like advantages based on the requirement. We'll be going with them. So ours is VMFS, so we'll be going with VMFS. So now it's not listed. Let me check. It should list here. Give me a sec. I don't think we are missing here. Let me scan one more time. Okay, let me check from the server and I'll get back. Give me a sec. Okay, so the mistake is pretty simple, and it's silly, because when I give the IP for the dynamic discovery, I give a 92.168.86.5, which is actually 192.168.86.5. so it was a typo. So that is the reason I was unable to list these two 200 GB LUNs. So if you see here, now I'm when I just rescan for storage LUN, what happened is they are listed. Once I just pre-validated the IP, and the IP was missing one, which is because of typo. So if you see here, once when your scan is done, you'll be able to see the two LUNs available here, and you can see the status of the IO status here. So now we are good. So if you go to the storage devices, it will be listed each of 100 GB. So this is a LUN ID. So whenever a storage admin provisions a LUN, or he whitelist the LUNs for the particular ESXi servers, he will share you the LUN ID. So if this is a lab, so you will be seeing only 2 here, but if it is production, you will have hundreds, right? So based on the LUN number, we will be identify the what is the exact one we need to add or we need to expand. Okay, so you need to identify with the LUN numbers. So now we will go to ESXi and go to storage, and now we will add a new data store using this same VMFS. And now we are able to see we have two new data stores available. We will give a name for this. I will give something like iSCSI or Datastore 01. just click and select VMFS6. This is the file system which you will be using. You can go for if it is an older version, you can go for VMFS5. So the VMFS is VMware file system, just like our Windows have what is that, NTFS, MB, or some that type of same thing. So once this is done, it will ask how much space you want to assign all stuff. I will assign all, and just click next and finish. So once it is done, you will be able to see the LUN added here. So you are able to see this is the 100 GB data store one. Same thing we'll do for the other one, which is we added. So we'll name it as Datastore 2 and select this one. Next, pretty simple, finish. So we can do this all whatever we are doing using the scripting also we can do, but it is simple, which will save your time and make it easier for you guys. So in our checklist, now we done with the adding the two LUNs okay, to the iSCSI to the ESXi box. Now we are going to add we are at the step 5 to add the ESXi box. Okay, so now we'll go back to our vCenter. Okay, so now to add the new ESXi box, right click, add host. So give the IP here, IP or host name ESXi02.vsb. So it's not typing though, I'm typing .vsb.com, and give the username, password. It's root, and password is whatever you mentioned there. Okay, so you can add multiple hosts here. You can add n number. Just click on add host and do all in single shot. So it will ask for the security alert, like it will show the thumbprint, all stuff. Click and next, ignore all and just finish. So it will add it will connect to it, and it will validate, and it will add the second ESXi box. So it will take a few minutes. It's done now. So second ESXi is added and it's in maintenance mode. So we need to take it out from maintenance mode. So what is maintenance mode is like whenever you want to patch or reboot a server, it will have all ESXi virtual machines running on it. So when you set it to maintenance mode, all ESXi virtual machines will be migrated to other available ESXi boxes using the DRS, that is a distributed resource scheduler. Once it is done, it will set to maintenance mode, and you are safe to reboot the server, patch or upgrade. So before doing any activities like this, you must put the server in maintenance mode, and when it's rebooted and the server comes up again, it will be in maintenance mode, and you need to go to like right click and go to maintenance mode, and you need to exit maintenance mode. Okay, so now it is out of maintenance. So we have two hosts. You are able to see these data stores added. Okay, we'll rename it. That's okay, we are in the initial phase. We can change this, we do any changes we want. So I named it as this is a local data store of ESXi box, like which have its operating system, everything running on it, and even you can save the VMs on this. But when you want to migrate, maybe you need to turn off the VM and you need to migrate it. And if you place that VM on the local data store, what happens is VM goes down, then that VM will be not available. So that is the reason we have a shared data stores in the environment, which help you to migrate virtual machines from one host to another using the high availability whenever ESXi goes down. So we need to add the other data stores also. So before that, we will rename this local data store, which is there here. Let me check what is the name I have given it. So this is a local data store. Okay, so we'll rename it. Default it will be datastore 1. Whenever you build a new ESXi server, I will give it as ESXi O2 _DS. Okay, so to to identify then this naming is to identify if it is a local data store or say like just for our identification we'll rename it. So here also we need to go to configurations. So this is let me follow the steps. So our step 5 is done. Step 6 is like adding iSCSI LAN to second ESXi. So now we'll go to this one and no. So here we need to go to configuration. Again you need to add the adapter here, iSCSI adapter. Okay, so it will take a few seconds to add the new iSCSI adapter. It is added now. So we'll go to dynamic discovery and we'll add the FQDN. Last time we done a mistake, so I don't want to do any mistakes this time. 86.5. Even my keyboard is battery low, I believe. So it's not taking sometimes some keys. So just click. Oh, this time also we done a mistake. Instead of 86 I given 56. So we'll delete it and add it again. 192.168.86.5. Okay, so this time I believe we given the correct one. So let's go for rescan of storage. You can see the path here. So the new LANs are available here, and you can see the like let's see data stores are automatically listed here. So they are automatically listed because it's already added on ESXi 1. That is the reason they are automatically added here. So next step is step 6, that is enabling HA DRS. So before that we'll do the vMotion step, then we'll go to HA DRS. Okay, so why? Because DRS works on vMotion, whereas HA doesn't work on vMotion. So it's dependent, and this will be also an interview question. So will HA works on vMotion? Then no, it doesn't work on vMotion, but DRS works on vMotion port. Okay, so we'll go to configuration to create to create the vMotion port group. Okay, so go to VM kernel adapters, add a network. Here you're able to see 3 options. One is VM kernel network adapter, VM port group. When you create port groups, like we have a VLAN, for example VLAN 100, which is for virtual machines for database servers. When you want to connect it to that particular VLAN, then we'll go for virtual machine port groups in the standard switch. So adding a physical network adapter, we need to select this one. For now we'll go with the first one. So we'll be adding a new existing network. Okay, so okay, we done a mistake. Hold on. What happened? Something wrong. Let me check. Okay, use the existing standard switch. That's what we need to select. Okay, so here we need to give the vMotion labeling, like network label. So make sure whenever you create a vMotion network port group, what happens is you should follow the same naming for all ESXi boxes, or else if it is mismatch, like network label is mismatched, then what happens is vMotion doesn't work. So you have to follow the same. Whatever you give the naming on one of the box, you need to give the same on others also. So VLAN, you can mention it, or if you have, you can mention, or else you can leave it. So here you need to select the vMotion, or if you select the vMotion here, this is all degraded. So if you select default and select vMotion, then it will be used for vMotion as well as you can use the same for other like other services, but that is not recommended. So I will just go for vMotion as we are using it for the same. So click next, and we need to give an IP for this. Okay, so let me check, make sure that I don't do any mistakes. Let me check on my DNS server. What are the available IPs? Okay, we have 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 9 is available. So 192.168.86.9, 255.255.255.0, that is subnet 24. Override default gateway, that's okay to leave it. Click next, and you can see the settings all like just review the settings which you have selected. Anything wrong you can make changes here and click finish. So there is a vMotion network added. So if you see here, it will be listed here. Okay, we can one more thing I will show you here once this is done. So we need to do the same on other ESXi box too. Go to VM network kernel adapters, select the network kernel, VM kernel network adapter, select the existing switch, that is vSwitch, give the same name, OTION vMotion 01, and select the default vMotion and give the IP, static IP 192.168.86. And we have given 9, right? So we'll give 10, 255.255.255.0. So yes, finish. So the vMotion network is available. When you click on this, it will take you to the same place, like wherever you are seeing view, like where you are. You'll be able to see vMotion 01 with IP 86.10 on 02, and vMotion 01 on 86 on another ESXi box. So give me 1 second. Okay, so we have just created now the vMotion network. Let's look at the enabling HA DRS. So we'll go here, and now thing is like let me explain what is HA DRS before I go for configuration. So HA DRS, like these are the services, like HA is high availability and DRS is distributed resource scheduler. So what DRS do, what HA do is like DRS will take care of whenever you have 10 ESXi boxes in your environment. So it will take care of moving the VMs from here and there based on the availability of the resources. Like if one ESXi box is running or using less memory and CPU, then another ESXi box is running on high memory CPU. What it will do is the one which is having more resources available, it will migrate the VMs to that ESXi and make sure that all ESXi boxes run on a equal level of VM CPU and memory utilization. That is taken care by DRS, and HA is high availability. So HA's part is to take care of if any of the ESXi box goes down, so all the VMs will be gone, they are offline, right? To overcome that issue, HA what it will do is, if it is configured, it will take care of whenever a heartbeat is not available for a ESXi box, immediately it will migrate the virtual machines to the other available ESXi server. And specifically I'm telling you because it will reboot the virtual machines whenever a VM is migrated. Whenever a VM is down, the VMs will be migrated to another ESXi box, and HA will take care of rebooting that virtual machines to release the physical server memory CPU to another, to assign another CPU memory. So in that process it will reboot the virtual machines. Why I'm specifically telling is, in interview they will ask like what happens if ESXi box is down and they migrate to other ESXi box. Will the VMs reboot? The one which migrated to new ESXi, will they reboot? Then you have to say yes, they will reboot on other ESXi box. That's the answer. So in production it will happen same. So that is to minimize the available downtime. So though they are getting reboot, it won't take much time, just fraction of seconds they will be migrated and rebooted. So these are the roles. So talking in depth in HA, this is a huge topic. Initial stages, the HA is available. HA heartbeat. What happens is whenever HA is configured, it will put a algorithm on all ESXi boxes, and it will frequently check the algorithm for the availability, all stuff. So that used to use network. So previous versions, the agent so-called AAM, I don't remember the full form, but then it was changed to what is that domain, I just forgot, but it's the latest one is FDM, fault domain manager. So so the thing is, the latest version, what happened was, if network is also down, what will happen? So obviously it will take it as ESXi down, right? So this FDM, what it will do is like it will use the dual path. One is like all ESXi servers are connected through storage, right? We have a shared storage where VMs are running. So it will also deploy algorithm there. So that what happens is it will use the two paths. One is network, one is storage. So if network is not available, then it will check the server availability using the storage path. So that is the upgrades. So in latest versions, so obviously with the dual paths, it will be checking the heartbeat for the ESXi boxes. So the question is, will this HA DRS comes with standard edition, means like foundation edition, means DRS? Yes, it comes with foundation, but HA comes with enterprise edition of vCenter and ESXi boxes. So for this you should have an enterprise edition, an enterprise and enterprise plus. So without that you won't have this HA availability option. You will have DRS, but HA won't be there. So this is somewhat theory but important. So let's go for configuring the HA DRS. So just right click on the cluster and where is that? No, sorry. Just select this one, configuration, then vSphere DRS. So edit here and just enable this one. So you have couple of things, predictive DRS. So yeah, it will like forecast itself. It will detects the any resource crunch or something like that. So we'll like fully automated levels. There will be three types: partial, manual, fully automated, that already explained in my previous videos. So just go through it. So I have a special specifically for HA DRS, there is a video where I explain clear what all these options, why we use these all stuff. So yeah, this is a fast track, so I'm not going to do that, explain that. Even I was like, as per my thing, I should not go through all, but I was just explaining. So DRS is enabled now. Next is high availability. For high availability, vSphere high availability, you need to go to here and click edit, and you need to enable HA. So HA options like host failure, will select defaults. As I said, it's already explained in our previous videos. And heartbeat, I was discussing about this. So here like minimum data stores should be 2, if you have only one, then what happens is it will once the HA is configured, it will show an error saying that data store is only one available. And even now also we'll get an it's not error, it's a warning, because it will show this is for storage. We have two, so I hope we are good. So I have selected select automatically data stores accessible from the host, and I will click OK. So now HA is also configured. It will take some time, because it will try to deploy the whole log algorithm. So if you see here in the event somewhere, we'll be able to see configuring. Let's see, I will try to show you monitoring. So still it's in progress, so maybe once it is done, then we'll be able to see. So this is enabled and this is also enabled. So yeah, still it's in progress, that is the reason. So I don't know, maybe I need to log off and log in again to vCenter, because it is running high on CPU. That is the reason it's taking some time. So meanwhile I will also explain what is proactive HA. So I'm not going to turn it on. So proactive HA is like it will detects, like if you enable this, what happens is, if there it will identifies any chance of failure of hardware proactively, and if feels like if ESXi high is having any problem, any hardware problem, so proactively it will migrates the VMs to other ESXi boxes proactively. So you can see the conditions and responses, host failure, all stuff when you go for it, like, and it's also having like automation levels, remediation, everything. So we are I don't want to go for it, but yeah, still it's in progress. Let's wait, or maybe I need to log off and log in again. Sometimes it will vCenter behave based on the resource availability. Let me pause and log off and log. Okay, so you can see here now configuring HA is like we can see the log here. And if you go to vCenter ESXi box, you can also see the events. So HA is like you can see here, which is availability state has changed to unutilized. So we can see some logs, and still HA is configuring. It's in progress. So you need to wait and see. So it's in progress. Okay, let me pause the video till it is completed. It will take time, obviously, I know that. So now we are able to see the HA is configuring on ESXi 02 and 01. It's almost 54%. So we can see here we have an like a warning. This host currently has no management network redundancy. So that's okay. We can do it. So let's do it. Go to configuration. Manage network adapters, and this is the one, only one. I will add one. Just move down and click OK. Same thing we'll do for this one also. Okay, still we see that that's okay, we can suppress it. Still it's configuring. Yeah, it's okay. So we have enabled it, and it will take some time. Once this is done, maybe that pop-up will go away. So you can see here DRS is enabled. You can see it's on and HA is on. Okay, so if my ESXi box goes down, any VM running on this, that will be migrated to 01, and if some 01 goes down, it will be migrated to 02. Okay, so yeah, a demonstration I shown it, like when there is a dedicated video for HA DRS where I have shown the demonstration, and everything is same. So yeah, I will just leave it for that. So now creating virtual machine vMotion, that's it's already created, and creating Datastore cluster, that we will look now. So for Datastore cluster, if you go here, or maybe if you right click on this, go to storage cluster, maybe 1 second. Let me check. No, so yeah, give me a sec. Let me. Sometimes I will forgot. So yeah, so here or somewhere. Yeah, just give me a sec. Okay, so I need to go to Datacenter. Sometimes finding that option, it's difficult. So go to storage, and here you have a new Datastore cluster. Okay, so right click on this and give the Datastore name. Okay, I will give DC D cluster, something like that, 01. So data stores type like VMFS, and turn on data storage DRS. Then automation, it's okay, fully automated, you leave everything as default. Click next. So here you can give the thresholds, like how much space when it comes to utilization. You can like 50% or 74% or even 90%, something like. Whenever it reaches to 90% or 95%, it will start moving the VMs. So minimum space, you can select, like even minimum space is 1 GB. Based on like your data store size, you have to select it, and click next. And here select host. Cluster is the NC1, and we have two data stores, which is iSCSI data stores. So we select 2 and finish. So a data store cluster is created. For example, cluster can be combination of multiple data stores. So it will show it as a one. For example, you have two data stores of 100 GB, 100 GB. So they are both two different sizes. When you create a cluster, data store cluster, it will be shown as an one cluster, or one shows as a one cluster with a capacity of total size of 200. So it's in progress. So once it is created, you'll be able to see it here. Data store cluster, yeah, it is created, and you can see the size is of 197, that is almost 200 GB. And you can see when you click on this, you will be able to see the data source added to this, available VMs, all stuff. When it is whenever and even whenever you create a virtual machine, you can select as like a single data store, or even single data store, or you can select a cluster. So if you want to like see that, like let me show you to deploy a VM, like a dummy VM. Okay, create a new VM of, just give it VM1. I don't have OS for now. Datastore is like Datacenter is a DC1 and cluster is a NC1. Okay, OS, it will ask for storage here. This is the part I'm discussing about. So you can go for you can go for this or this, or even if you select this one, what happens is it will take care of like migrating the VM decays of a particular virtual machine. Based on the availability, it will put the VMs on different LANs, different data stores, and it will be available. It won't keep the data, like for example, you have only we have only 10% on this, and this is having 30%. In that task, in that scenario, it will like cluster will take care of like availability space. Based on that, it will keep the VM decays of the VM and different storage, different LANs. So yeah, that's okay. Compatibility, all stuff. Then we'll select 2019 for now. Just this is only for testing. I will give only 20 GB and see. So we want to power it on also. Just creating just to show, yeah, how to create a VM also. It's so pretty simple. You want to see the settings, go to, you want to see the change anything on the VM, right click and go to edit settings, and here you can increase the CPU or increase the memory, all stuff you can do. So yeah, in this next session I will show that all, like I will try to build a VM network, all stuff we'll do. For now I just created a VM, but we are going off track again. So this is done. Next is joining vCenter to domain. That part we'll look now. So here when you go to okay, once again click on, when you click on this, we'll have these options where you need to go to administration, and in the single sign-on, go to configuration. Here you can see that identity provider, local accounts. What are the local accounts? See, if you see here, single sign-on domain is vSphere.local. So we can log in with this only for now. So login message is you can enable it to put a message to your teammates. You can do it here whenever they log into that. So before that, we need to add the server to the domain. So for this, actually it will reboot the when you add it to the domain, it will reboot the ESXi. It will ask for reboot of ESXi box. So click select the Active Directory domain and click on domain ID. Okay, then you need to give the domain name. Ours is vsb.com. Organization unit is optional, that's okay. You need to give the administrator username, password. You can see here, reboot the node to apply the changes. Okay, so let me put the credentials of domain admin. Okay, click on join. If the username password is correct, then it will like given a prompt to reboot the node. Okay, if not, it will say bro, your credentials are wrong. Okay, so this part is done. So and we need to go to the identity resources. So before that, it will be listed here, like vsb.com will be listed here, and we need to set the identities as default. But before that, we need to reboot the ESXi box. For that, we need to log into our ESXi box. So even will, as a part of our list, this is the last one. Okay, so we'll log into our vCenter using this URL. So vCenter name followed by 5480 is the port. So using this, you're directly connecting to your vCenter VM. Okay, and root and password is a different different one from one we use for logging to vCenter console. So this is a separate one. When you are configuring the vCenter VM, you will be configuring this username password. Okay, you have to use the same. If it is wrong and if you forgot, then you are in big problem. So this is the VCSA console, where you can see the host name, build version, vCenter version, uptime. It's up from 2 hours 50 minutes, and you can see the status of health status here. Everything looks good, and single sign-on is running now. So monitoring, if you see here, the utilization of CPU, memory, everything. Access SSH is deactivated. You can enable it by simply going here and activate it. And DCUI, direct console user interface, console CLI is also activated. Bash, if you want, you can enable it. So networking, you can see the network details, what is the IP, NIC, status, all stuff, proxy settings. Firewall, we don't have anything for now. So time sync, if you see here, it's syncing with the ESXi box, but this is direct. Next is services. What all the services running here? If you sort it by status, it will be listing here. Whenever you reboot the ESXi box, sometimes based on the memory and CPU, server quickly won't come up till all the services, relevant services, are in started state. Sometimes you can connect to this console on port 5480, and you can see the status here. To become panic, better to log in here and check. If it is stating something starting, then you need to wait for some time, and sometimes they won't come up. In that case, you need to just select particular service, and if you go here, there is option to start or restart. You can do it from here. And second option is using the bash or CLI. You need to use the partition and connect to the this vCenter IP or vCenter name, and log in there, and you need to run few commands to restart the services. Okay, update. If you want to upgrade vCenter to latest version, once you click here, it will check for the upgrades, and if you see here, there are no updates available, as this is the latest version. That particular version will be available. You need to select it and just run update, and it will update. But in production, don't do it. It should have a change, approved change, and all stuff. You need to have a snapshot of the virtual machine. vCenter, everything is in place. We have a proper backup. When everything is in place, you also need to check the compatibility, all stuff. Like if you have backups running, if you have some backups like Commvault backup or Cohesity backup, so you make sure that the backup tools are compatible with the latest version which you are going to update. Then only you go for update. If you do that, then you are in big problem. So make sure to check the compatibilities list always in the VMware site as well as the vendor site. Then only go for it. So administration is like my defaults, like your password expiry, all stuff. As per policy, this should be yes, but you can also password expires no, and save it. I'm doing it, but in production you must follow that. It should be set to yes, and you should make sure that set because security won't accept it. IT security won't accept it. So these are the password requirements, and syslogs, where you can see you can configure here, so that like you have a Splunk server or any server, you can configure where your logs will be forwarded to particular server. Okay, and backup, you can take backup from here. You can configure the backups, and like how you want the backups, all stuff. Like you want to retain it, how many times, how many days. You can give the path of that location, everything. Yeah, pretty simple to understand, nothing big. So just do it, and it will take the backups of your vCenter. Something goes down, then you can check there, you can restore it from there. So why we come here is to reboot the vCenter. So you need to go to extreme right side of the screen, actions, and click on reboot. Once I click this one, this console will go disconnected. So, and even our vCenter which we connected, that won't respond. So if you click this, it's gone. So we need to wait till it come up. I believe we covered all, so I don't want you guys to wait till the server is up. Actually we still have something to do, right? These two steps. Okay, I will pass the video. Once that is up, I will come back. So vCenter is up now. Let's log in. So we'll be using the local domain administrator to log in. Though we have added to domain, still we need to configure few things. Then only we can use the Active Directory account to log in. So now it's added. If you see here, Active Directory, it's already joined. Okay, to this is the Active Directory server and Active Directory name. So we need for the identity resource, if you see here, it won't be listed till you add it. So you need to go to add identity resource, and integrated Active Directory is going to deprecated. It's deprecated starting 7.0. So you will be using the local machine account. Click add. So now it is added. We can set as default. So previously it is set to local vSphere.local, and now it is vsb.com. so now this is Active Directory added, we are set. And local accounts, if you go to go to single sign-on US and groups, go to groups, and here if you click this one, add members. So here we need to add our domain admin, our Active Directory admins. Here you need to search for the group what I created. Let's check. So here so VMware admins is the okay. So VMware admins is the group like which I created, and the members is like domain admins as well as VM admin. So VMware admins is the one. So let's search. So VMware admins, and also I will add domain admins also. We no need to add it, but I'm just adding. Okay, then save. So now domain admins and the VMware admins group is having administrative privileges on this vCenter. So like if you have for example you want to give access to only creating VMs, deleting VMs, so we can create a group or a user specific group or specific user in Active Directory, and you can go to groups and you can create permissions for that. So that is a different topic. So for now let's try to log in with our domain admin and see if we have any issues. When we try to log in, we can just log off. Let's see if we are able to do it using our administrator @ what is that? Let me check. Okay, it's VM admin, right? Let me see. VM admin @ vsb.com, and let's try to put the password. Okay, we are able to successfully log in. So our configuration is successful. So now I'm able to log in. I'm able to see what all I was able to see with using my local admin, vSphere local admin. Same things I can see here, I can do here. I have created a VM. Let's try to delete this one and see. So here we'll have it. I think we already covered this in our previous videos. So if you click on remove from inventory, what happens is it will remove the VM from here, but its disk will be still available in the storage, and When you add it to the inventory, it will come back. If you want to delete it completely from your environment, click on delete from disk. What happens is it will delete all associated disks, and that VM be no longer available. Only if you have backups you can restore it. So my like VM admin account is having full permissions on my vCenter. If you delete anything, that will be going away. So let's check our checklist. So we have like joined vCenter to domain and permissions to domain users, and I was able to log in. Also, I shown you how to access VCSA appliance using the browser, and yeah, most all the topics are covered. I hope this video is informative for you guys. As I said, please like my videos, which I'm not seeing very few guys liking my videos, which is disappointing. But yeah, please do subscribe, and for any queries and suggestions, please reach out to me on vstudentblog@gmail.com. Thank you. Bye bye.